So the question was, when to use self, when to use this. Anylogic uses, so this is a Java thing, and it's going to refer to the whatever's executing this code. What's executing the code in main is going to be main. What's executing the code in person is going to be a person. What's executing the code in supermarket is going to be a supermarket. So inside of person class, this is going to refer to some person. The person who's currently executing. So maybe you're on a transition and it's the person going across that transition if you use this there. Or maybe it's an event's going off and it's going to be the person whose event is going off. If you have code in main, this is going to refer to main. It's going to refer to the current instance of main. Okay, so that's what this refers to. Now, self is something that Anylogic uses because often you will need to refer to more things than just this. In the case here, we are building up a person. We're defining their home, and then we're setting their location. And so this refers to main, but self refers to the person whose attributes are being assembled here. Okay, and you actually get a clue about that if you look here. It just says self at the end. And that's an indication that self refers to this person, okay? Now, it turns out self is used in several other places in Anylogic, including in the discrete event library for referring to the current block. We may be in a clinic class, so this refers to clinic, but the self refers to the current block, I think, within that. And so it's just a way to refer to kind of a specific context which is about something else besides the class, the thing of the type class. So it's not something about the person, it's not something about main, it's something about this person being assembled here that we care about. So we use self.
Yeah, we wouldn't use it in person, for example.
We wouldn't normally use it in person. That would be, I'm not sure I've ever seen it in person used.
Because that would be this.
That,
we would be
that's right. That's right, referring to person. Now, if you had a discrete event model inside of person there, now you might need to refer to the block as self, but really where you use it, the most common case is certainly in setting up this population. And it's because we are assembling the attributes of some person, and some of those attributes depend on other attributes of that same person. So we want this person's latitude, longitude. We want the person's latitude, longitude to depend on their home. So, and do you remember on the very first day, we had their income depend on their sex. So we had to say their income depends on self.sex. The attributes of this person being created, of the person being created. So this, because we're in main, this refers to some main. Self happens to refer in this context, the context here, and the context here as referred to the same person.
So where we're setting the home parameter, you wanted that to be based on income, for instance. Would it then be self?
Yeah, so item? Correct. So if their home, which home they get, if we wanted that to depend on their income, then it would depend on self.income here. Okay. That's what and that's what our model the first day showed. I mean, if I were to go back.
What you're doing here is you're giving the person a random house.
Give them a random house.
You're saying the person has the same latitude and longitude as the house.
They're gonna start at that.
About the extent of what we've done.
That's what we've done. That's what we've done.
Basically, you're saying this index individual has these attributes and we want to match them up.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Just so you remember back to the first day, if you haven't blotted it out, here we go. So here we go. On the first day, we had a population, and we had their income depend on their sex. So we had self.sex, because it was referring to their own sex. If we had this.sex, they would have been looking, oh, does main have a sex?
Yeah.
And no, Maine doesn't have a sex, it doesn't know what to do. It'll be unhappy camper. So, if we built this right now, it'll be happy camper. But if we said this dot sex, it's going to exhibit displeasure because it'll say sex cannot be resolved because it's looking for sex in Maine, which doesn't have a sex. Okay? Okay, so I know that's a little bit confusing. You folks are bearing with it better than some other boot camp participants have found it. Okay?
Great.
So, okay, great.